I told you they would do this shit. They're just gonna talk about a bunch of shit that we're not gonna get. Korea's gonna get it first. Call me crazy here, but I wonder what we're gonna see for the Demon Castle. What could have been Thornwood Castle that was talked about in the past. Now we have the actual Heidel Ball reveal.
Hello,
and this is the Heidel Ball summed up in short. I didn't really watch any of the Heidel Ball. I already know a bunch of stuff that we're already getting, but let's talk about it.
Today we are going to go over and summarize the Black Desert Heidel Ball event for June 2024. There were a lot of announcements, so let's get right into it. Firstly, 2 J Hammers of Loyalty were given as a gift at the beginning of the event, which is nice to see. They showed us the old Black Desert world map to give us an idea of what is to come in the future of this game. The old map was from before release, if you were around that time, and now they showed us the new updated map.
Whoa, look at this in comparison. So it's probably something like this. So if we look at this though, you can see the outline. We can see the concept in comparison. Not a good comparison, but layering over top one another. They've expanded out, right? This looks like an expansion they didn't anticipate on having. Looks like something as well. Land of the Morning Light, or should I say Land of the Morning Light, because we didn't really get the other half. Anyways, well, let's move on.
Us the
cool
new
comparison.
Updated map to show the future of the world of Black Desert. We know Demon Land is coming, and the Mountain of Eternal Winter Part 2 was teased before. It's now officially called the Mountain.
You know what else was teased for a Part 2? Calphian Elvia Part 2. Whatever happened to the Elvia? Dekia just came into the game and they just stuck with that route, I guess. Unless like Calphian Elvia Part 2 is being revised into like a Dekia version.
Mountain of Dawnbreak, that is the official name for the new winter region that is
Mountain
coming.
of Dawnbreak.
It will contain a 100-floor dungeon as the main focus of that.
Oh, I thought the 100-floor dungeon was going to be in the Demon Land. That's going to be in the new Mountain of Eternal Winter update. I wonder if it's just going to be like, if you beat it, it's done. Is it resettable? Is it worthwhile doing? Oh boy, this could go either way, especially with things that we've seen them put in the game in the past. I'd imagine it's going to be gear score related. So if it is, that's probably for the best. 100 layers though. Is it going to be probably your traditional tower fighting content too, right? First 10 levels, then there's like a boss, bigger reward or bonus at 10. I could see them introducing probably adventure logs and completing this, or just rewards through the adventure bookshelf through completing this, right? Get through and there'll be like 10 books for 10 levels.
Region. Demon Land instead will have a demon castle as the focus. It's a huge castle that will be...
This looks sick. My only concern right now is we just see what it looks like. We see a bunch of artwork, but what's going on? Do we have any updates? Do we have any sneak peeks? Or do we just have artwork and a PR statement? Because deep down is this Jay's apology. He's like, hey guys, sorry, but hey, look at this. Look at this shiny thing. Everyone's like, oh.
And different parts of the castle have different mechanics. They didn't really go into it other than that, but it looks amazing. However, they decided to utilize the Magnus as a gateway to other realms. And in this case, we can now travel back in time to the land of BDO
This sounds cool.
Thousands of years ago. The same world map will be there, but thousands of years ago, so the Valencian Desert completely gone. Every region has been completely revamped as a version of the past. This is the era of Adana.
Look at Valencia Desert. Look at the Mountain of Eternal Winter. Is this like back to the land of before time when the dinosaurs roamed around? Because this sounds like a super cool idea.
This is currently in development and will be released sometime in the future over the next few years.
A few years for the time traveling content? There it is, the sneak peek to Crimson Desert, lads.
But this year, Land of the Morning Light Soul was shown. That's our next region. This is the next main story area. The stories are more political dramas and romantic in nature. It is fully voiced as well, and it should take a little longer than the last main story to complete.
No. Did I just hear Land of the Morning Light Part 2 story is going to take even longer to complete than the first one? If that's the case scenario, oh boy, who's ready to have a nap party? We're going to host a nap party. Bring your blankets. Oh boy. Cue the fucking lore snobs in the comment section being like,
Well, actually, I really sat down there and made myself. I found it as a good time to make myself a bowl of popcorn and grab my drinky poo and really sit back and enjoy this wonderful, fantastic content that they put in this game. You people who just spam the R button and just go and do grind your circles have no time to appreciate what good content actually is.
shut up. I need R's in the comment section, please. Okay.
Tamer's lore will also be explained with the Land of the Morning Light.
Hell yeah, dude! Land of the Morning Light Part 2! The fucking story everyone's been asking for! We get to know more about Tamer! Woo! Hot dog! I mean, that's the story we all wanted to know! I'm gonna make a Tamer just to go through Land of the Morning Light Part 2.
They showed us the new Black Shrine bosses, a total of 10 unique bosses in this new area. They're all group play bosses.
We're getting 10 new bosses before we get 2 new levels? I have so many questions. Wouldn't that potentially just make it more complicated when the 8th and 9th and 10th level come out, especially if they make it group content, because then it could be all over the place, just like their class. You know what? They got a plan. This is great. 10 new bosses, though, actually does sound pretty dope.
With this, Black Shrine will have a 5-party member format. Instead of special gear or special stats, you use your own gear, and there will be 2 difficulties, normal or hard, instead of the calamity system we have now. Sun, Moon, and Earth will serve as roles in this new format that you choose before you fight these bosses. They will
That's interesting. Interesting. Triggers CC in a specific situation for the Sun, increases revival counts within the party for Moon, summons a set of number of HP recovery orbs for Earth. I'm just trying to think of like how you'd strategize around these bosses. This is cool. I like the setup of this.
give you additional effects depending on which ones you choose. 5 party members are from the same guild. You get additional rewards. The number of completions will accumulate for that guild, and the guilds with faster times will be higher ranked and get additional rewards. You can now give likes for fights in Black Shrine as well, and if a member of your guild has a lot of likes, they get a special colored title. You don't have to be in a guild for this new mode, just be in a party of 5. A new life skill has also been added called Palace Management. There will be new nodes unlocked after you complete the story in the new area. You can quest to increase these node levels, and items produced from these nodes can be combined and sold in Balanos or be used to craft rare items.
Wonder how much of an impact this will have on the current node system. I'm interested in seeing how that plays out, because people like myself who don't like to life skill a lot and don't usually do too much to manage their entire node system, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
The big update we saw was new sovereign weapons. These are primordial tiers of weapons, essentially the fallen god weapons we knew were coming, but are now going to be the highest grade items in the game. They look incredible. Only main and
I mean, these look sick. I'm so jealous over classes that have giant weapons where they stand out and stick out like a sore thumb, because this looks rad. Maybe, though, this is why they removed and haven't followed through with Blackstar RGB, because technically you could make your Blackstar glow like this.
Pen Blackstar and the new Primordial Flame will be the things you need to craft this new item.
That looks
the
badass.
flame is extremely hard to get, so they've added other ways to craft. You can use 2 Pen Blackstars, combining them to craft 1 sovereign weapon if you wish.
So first method, 2 Pen Blackstars. Second method, Pen Blackstar and the new flame, which it looks like this. And a flame imbued with the energy of the sun that illuminated all things after the separation of the once connected heavens and earth. And then you have Pen Blackstar with a C20 Zarka, and then the Gem of Twilight. And then boom, we get purple grade.
They will need exclusive items to enhance, and the item
Wow. Level 10, just X.
You can also choose up to 5 additional effects on these sovereign weapons through transfusions, all AP, all evasion, max HP, crit damage, and so on.
Wait, through infusions, we get to choose. Oh, thank goodness.
A Pen Blackstar weapon of your choice will be given for free as a reward.
I always thought this was going to be something that was way overhyped. We talked about this while I was putting together my bingo card. We talked about, oh, they're going to give away Pen Blackstar. And I made a comment being like, nah, they would never do something that ridiculous. New players, take advantage of this. That's basically $2,000, bro. Pff, not anymore.
Hardcore Server Season 1 was also announced. You create a character for the season.
Season 1
at level 60, 230 AP, and 280 DP. Relatively easy to enhance.
So you start at this.
but you can't use food or elixirs. You also
No food, no elixirs. Okay, so where do we go from here?
cannot see other player names, chat does not work, and PvP is always on.
What is this? What? Now, I like the idea of where this is going for like a hardcore playstyle. Start at level 60, start with some gear, no food, no buffs. I don't know about that one. I think having to go out and having to actually make your own stuff as is through the environment and stuff like that, I think that stuff is way better. But PvP always on? Ah, dude, that's going to be a shit show. And then once people start reaching those power creeps and those power gaps and whatnot, I don't know about this one. This sounds like a super cool idea, but in terms of like the long term, woo, man, I'm throwing my prediction out right now. This is dead on arrival. This is going to be something that's going to be hyped up for a little bit and it's just going to die. There's going to be some people that want to enjoy the hardcore experience of like progressing and leveling up and things like that and not want to PvP. So a PvP only server and things like that. I don't know, man.
If you die, it's over. Your character is imprisoned and will need rest points to leave this prison. It takes a few days to regenerate passively. You can 1v1 other prisoners to escape faster. More kills will net you higher ranks, and at the end of
It's
this
straight up the gulag. You're right. It is. We're going to start a new fight club. The Thunderdome. The Dubdale Dibadone of the Dibdale Dubadone.
the highest ranked player will get special colored titles and rewards. There will be more information to come on this mode, but this serves as a way for players who are tired of enhancing to freely PvP and progress in a different way.
I mean, I'm for it. Honestly, that sounds pretty badass. I'm for it. But I have a lot of concerns with like grouping up to try to heckle with people. No chat, no plat, no whatever. Yeah, but people will still show up in Discord in numbers. I think the idea of it sounds really badass. I'm concerned that the execution of it is going to be not good. And I won't be surprised if that's the case because they kind of have a track record like this. I'll definitely try it out, but I hope it's good.
A new difficulty tier for Dekia, Dekia Miramak, Kadri Ruins, Dekia Crescent Shrine, Dekia Gyfin Rasia zones have also been added, and Tier 2 will have a 750 GS requirement. Asadel accessories have also been announced. These are similar to Tungrad accessories in terms of AP, but with new effects. Guilds are getting new systems as well, trait systems, and tiers will allow you to differentiate your guild from others. There will be 3 traits: PvP, PvE, and life skill. You select one and then gain related fame over time. A dragon guild mount will be given as a reward for the highest tier PvP trade guild.
That's all you're gonna give me? Just a glimpse of a dragon? Man, this would be so sick if this was just like a guild thing. Like a guild could just go for their guild dragon mount. Just give me a T11 dragon mount. Take all 3 T10s, smash them all together, go for some fucking stone that costs 5 billion silver. I'm here for it.
And you can also purchase dances and emotes and accessories through the Pearl Shop with this new outfit update.
They're making us buy it. They're you know what? They put new emotes in the game. They're making us buy it. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost something, but don't forget they gave it to the kids first and it was free. How much do you think the emotions would cost? A fair price in my mind sounds like $10, $12. But since it's the first time it's ever been introduced, it's going to be like $20 to $30 an emote. You watch. It's going to be like $20 to $30 an emote. Don't forget, it's PA we're talking about here.
Summer update schedule right now is looking like this. So Jordan Saga main story. This is the Serendia Calphian revamp story. That's coming out for global June 26th, console July 10th, Arena of Solare season July 3rd. July 3rd is also the new class release, which we're going to go over in a second. July 10th is the new summer outfit release. July 14 is the War of the Roses new season. The new summer event, Sea Palace, will come back July 24th. Land of the Morning Light Soul will come August 7th for Korea only, and in the fall for global regions after localization. Dekia, Asadal, and hardcore servers will come after the Land of the Morning Light updates.
Wait a second. Here's the roadmap. My prediction was they're going to throw some content in there that we've never heard of. We're going to get excited about. But I told you guys that I'm not going to get excited unless I hear something that is being worked on, actively being worked on, and something that is being developed. They just talked about it. I know that they just talked about it, but is it being worked on? I want a date, man. I want that demon castle looks so sick. When do I get the Mountain of Eternal Winter Part 2? When do I get the tower content? That's the stuff that sounded really fucking great. But in the near future, the very, very near future, around the corner, we get a new class. We get content we've already had. We get content we've already had put back into the game. And then we get fucking Land of the Morning Light Part 2. This is going to be even longer than the first one. Where the fuck is the content? Open my mind to what? They're putting sovereign weapons into the fucking game eventually. But then once I have the sovereign weapons, what the fuck am I doing with it? Hold up. Where's that tower content? Where's that demon content? Where's the demon castle we talked about? Wait, what about the DP brackets? Where's the new armor? We got new weapons, and where are we gonna use it? What you talking about? I'm gonna fucking need my sovereign weapon for getting faster? For getting through the Land of the Morning Light Part 2 quest faster? Can I skip cutscenes if I have the new weapon? I told you they would do this shit. They're just gonna talk about a bunch of shit that we're not gonna get. Korea's gonna get it first. All right, filling up the bingo.
The new class was finally revealed.
Yep.
Dosa, a male class. He is a disciple of the Sangdo school. He uses the Hwando main weapon and a pipe offhand. The Hwando deals fire attacks while the pipe produces smoke attacks that can be chained together. He also has the ability to call
Animations are clean.
warriors of fog to shield him and also deal damage even at range. He is a fluid, heavy chain combo class from the looks of it, and Dosa has the special ability to summon fog generals and soldiers that will appear in numbers depending on how many enemies are around him.
I mean, I know this is a quick TLDR video, so I didn't we're not properly watching the ball, but Anders is really good at being very descriptive in his videos, and he's very good at not leaving out important details. See, for me, my favorite stuff that I saw was the Demon Castle and the 100-layer dungeon. But out of the content that we got previewed to us, we saw basically an animated thumbnail for the Demon Castle, the 100-layer dungeon. I'm concerned something's going to get forgotten about, because more often than not, they talk about a bunch of stuff and then there is stuff that ends up not getting delivered. Wait a second. I know this guy. It's the same person. I mean, honestly, class overall, my interest out of 10, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, honestly. Overall excitement from the Heidel Ball. I mean, there's content that they've talked about that I feel like sounds good, but on the roadmap, we just haven't seen it talked about, its development being talked about. I've said prior that I'll be excited hearing more about things that are in development and actually being worked on that we can see proper previews for and sneak peeks of. But when we go right back to the roadmap, I don't know, Heidel Ball out of 10 for me. A new season of Arena Solare, another class, War of Roses, reworked content comes back. So that, again, could be hit or miss since the phase that it's in. Land of the Morning Light Soul. Korea gets it first, so we'll get that a few months after, probably end of summer. So it's like, as an NA player, I don't really know what there is to look forward to here, other than the free pen Blackstar that we can expect. Yeah, I mean, free codes though. Make sure you guys punch in those free codes. Call me crazy here, but I wonder what we're gonna see for the Demon Castle, what could have been Thornwood Castle that was talked about in the past. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. It's a 4 out of 10 from me. What would make it a higher number, much higher number, is if I just saw information that talked about the stuff that was exciting to me being developed, that going in the past, Demon Land, 100-layer dungeon, that's the content that's all playable. Bruh, new weapons, new zone with 10 new bosses. Yeah, they've got the 10 Black Shrine bosses coming. I'm not saying that sounds good. That's what gave it a 4 instead of a 2. But it just felt like a lot of filler talk, honestly. 4 out of 10.